I ranked this Shopify fitness brand for their target keyword in just 3 months, which is honestly even faster than I expected. I'm gonna break down exactly how much their business has grown, then getting into the actual strategy, the technical, the on-page, and the backlink tactics I use to make this happen so quickly. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video so you can replicate this exact step-by-step strategy for your brand and rank number 1 for your dream keyword in just a couple of months. Let's get into it. We started working together in November of 2024. Since that time, the brand's organic search revenue has grown 51% from just about $5,600 in November to $8,700 in January 2025. That's all organic search revenue. Clicks have increased by 47% in that same time period, growing from just about 3,800 in November to 5,500 in January. The brand also now ranks for 327 brand new money page keywords in the top 3 spots of Google, including number 1 for their most important keyword. They now rank number 1 for lifting belt. Previously they were in position 11, so on page 2, now they're up 10 spots into that 1 spot. That keyword gets 10,000 searches a month. This keyword primarily has been the biggest driver of revenue for them. They also rank number 2 now for weightlifting belts. Singular version of weightlifting belt, they also rank 2, up from position 20. Deadlift shoes, totally different keyword, but a nice win nonetheless, is up to position 3. Weightlifting belt, again, 1 word, singular, position 1. Weightlifting belts, plural, 1 word, position 2. And lifting belts, again, position 2. You're looking at like 20,000 searches a month here, all now in position 1 at the end of January. So the revenue increase talked about is only going to continue growing. This brand is just at the very beginning of their SEO growth, and I'm super excited to see the rest of Q1, Q2, and obviously the rest of the year are going to hold for them. This brand had actually never intentionally done any SEO prior to working with us, but even so, they actually ranked like kind of okay for some terms. Like we're on the bottom page 1, top of page 2. On our first discovery call, I showed the founder that they actually already were on page 1 for some like super low volume keywords on product pages. He was so shocked. They'd never done SEO, like I said. They now rank number 1 for those same pages, plus a ton of the others, and obviously he's super ecstatic now. Brand has just been around for 15 to 20 years, so their domain age helped out when we started the campaign. It's also why they had a few of those page 1 rankings without actually doing any SEO. If your website is around long enough, Google simply trusts you kind of by default. Google definitely prefers older websites to new websites, so if you're an older website just getting started on SEO, you're going to have much faster results than anyone else. This brand is not your standard D2C brand. They don't spend any money on Meta or any other paid social platforms. They've tried it a few times, didn't really care for it, so they honestly just scrapped it. They are an entirely search-driven brand with SEO and Google Ads being their biggest revenue drivers, plus their word of mouth and legacy over the last, 2 decades has done a lot of heavy lifting for them as well. Let's get into the strategy. Now, I don't like to spend a lot of time on technical SEO because you simply will not be able to technical SEO your way to the number 1 spot on Google. Content and links are going to get you there. Technical SEO alone simply will not. That's a fact. In any case, we took care of the core issues we see on 99% of Shopify stores that we work with. First off, restructuring the robots.txt file to no index any tag pages that result from blogs, products, things like that. Eliminating duplicate and thin content pages that result from pagination and improper canonicalization. Again, a default Shopify issue. We added in schema and we fixed broken links. 4 things. Did all of that in the first 72 hours alongside actually building out the custom strategy, which I'm going to get into next. No long, drawn out technical SEO audits, simple and fast. Too many SEO agencies, in my opinion, waste time and money on technical SEO. For 99% of e-commerce stores, technical SEO is not going to be a big needle mover, okay? It will not get you the number 1 spot, like I said. On-page and off-page SEO absolutely will. This is standard for, like I said, 99% of websites we work on. On-page and off-page is simply going to move the needle and get you to the number 1 spot where you can actually start printing money through SEO comparatively to technical SEO. It does not make sense to spend weeks on technical SEO for 1% gains when you could just write content, update content, and build new links to earn 10% gains at a time. If you are prospecting an agency and they tell you that the first 3 to 4 weeks are spent on technical SEO, I'm telling you just to save your money. They're going to sit on their hands and do nothing for an entire month while you wait for results, okay? They're going to profit heavily in month 1 and you are just going to light cash on fire. Now, let's get into the on-page stuff. We can actually start making money here. So the brand had 10 to 15 existing collections. Some of them ranked for some super low volume keywords, but nothing that was really driving revenue. So definitely room for growth. We ran our typical collection page optimization workflow that we run with pretty much every single brand we work with, analyzing the literal content of the page against the search console data for that page to look for underperforming queries and easy wins. For some collections, it is as simple as updating the meta title in the H1. Other times we have to rewrite, the first 1 or 2 sentences, change a few other words in the collection description. And for others, we had to fully rewrite the collection page copy or add it in for the first time, right? A lot of their collections actually like most brands, didn't have any collection descriptions. We needed to fix that. Less than a week, every single position for every single collection moved up at least 3 spots. I'd say 3 to 5 is kind of the average for us with this workflow, so was happy to see that this was consistent with that. The initial focus of the campaign was the brand's lifting belts. They wanted to rank number 1 for lifting belts, which thanks to us, they now do, right? I already showed you those rankings. Their initial site setup was a singular collection with all of their lifting belts in that collection. This is not unusual and it's not necessarily bad practice, but I knew if we build out some more lifting belt collections, we could actually get more leverage and rank higher and actually make some more money for them. In addition to optimizing the actual primary lifting belt collection page, we also built out new lifting belt collections: women's lifting belt, Olympic weightlifting belts, powerlifting belts, and lever belts, which are a type of lifting belt. There, instead of just one collection, we now have 5 lifting belt collections, each of which is optimized for a more specific version of lifting belt. All 5 of these collections now rank number 1 or number 2 for their respective keywords. This has also had a positive impact on their organic search conversion rate. If a powerlifter is searching for a powerlifting specific weight belt, they are much more likely to convert on a powerlifting specific collection comparatively to a general lifting belt collection page. It is tailored to them. That is the entire function of that. A lot of SEOs will ignore these smaller keywords once they found their main keyword, right? A lot of them would have stopped after finding lifting belt. They think the rest of the keywords are too small, don't matter, whatever. However, if a powerlifter searched for a powerlifting belt and we'd never created that collection, we would have never gotten the chance to convert them into a customer. Now, being in the number 1 spot, we have a guaranteed chance every single time a powerlifter searches for a powerlifting belt. Next time you think about keyword research, try to think beyond your current site hierarchy and the collections that actually exist, and you will more than likely discover some of these keyword gems that you've previously written off. It's February, I'm recording this. We've just now gotten into blog content a couple months later. The initial focus was on collections, as it always should be in e-commerce, right? This is where the money is made. Our plan is to focus the blog content strictly on middle and bottom of funnel content, targeting keywords like the pros and cons of lifting belts, different types of weightlifting belts, do lifting belts help back pain, and prong versus lever weightlifting belts. We've also moved on to a new batch of collections to focus on moving them into the number 1 spot. That's how I prefer to operate, right? We took care of the lifting belts, now we're moving on to a different category product type of theirs, right? Concentrated effort on one part of the site at a time is going to move the needle much further and much faster than diluted effort across the entire site. This is why we're able to rank number 1 in 3 months comparatively to 6 months or 9 months, because all of our efforts were focused and directed at those few keywords and few pages. On to backlinks. On top of the content strategy, we have built so far an average of 5 to 10 backlinks each month. We are running with a mix of reactive PR links and link insertions. Reactive PR links are simply branded anchor homepage links, typically from sites that are like DR60 plus and have like hundreds of thousands of monthly organic visitors. Link insertions are much more niche by design. We've targeted sites in the fitness and health niche, fashion, even some other things like that, and built a mixture of link insertions to the brand's collection pages and their homepage. This is our favorite link strategy for our clients, and it continues to work even in 2025, simply balancing reactive and link insertions. Now, high level look at the strategy. Every single strategy we build is custom made for each brand, just like this one, with varying amounts of pages built and optimized each month, as well as different link volumes and tactics. However, we are drawing inspiration from the same principles that work across all of our brands, right? That is why we're successful with all the brands. So while the strategy is bespoke to the individual brand, at a very high level, 30,000 feet, let's say, the methodology is the same. If you're a 7 or 8 figure Shopify brand that can't quite seem to crack SEO, book a discovery call with me below and I will take care of it for you.